Yo, what is up, Nerdy Squad? We back with another video. Your boy finally got a chance to finish Power Rangers Cosmic Fury last night. It took me a couple days, a little longer than I expected, but I'm happy I finally got a chance to finish it. And we got to talk about it, the good and the bad. So let me just go ahead and get the good out the way. First thing first, what I liked about this show was, I believe her name is Amelia. She did a great job taking over as the Red Ranger in Zeto's absence. I thought she did a great job being the Red Ranger leader. And the way that she brought the team together, the way that she held everybody down during those dark times and struggles in this season was a really, really, really good job. I did like the beginning of the show where it started off with a big battle. It was something different compared to where it normally starts off with probably one of the Rangers just doing something on the side, and then eventually they get called to battle. That was something small, but I did like it. Seeing Lord Zed come back was really cool. I mean, he looked a lot bigger, a lot buffer compared to his Mighty Morphin Power Ranger days, but I didn't have a problem with that at all. Seeing Billy the Blue Ranger come back, I thought was really cool. It really took me back to like the 90s and just seeing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I thought that was really cool, how he really fit in with the team and really became a mentor, a big brother to the current Power Ranger team. I think that's really about all my positives. So I got to talk about the negatives. So when I talk about the negatives, I got to talk about the Power Ranger suits. I did not like the Cosmic Fury suits at all. The helmets were cool, but I didn't like the suits. I think it had way too much padding. I just didn't like the design. They were too plain. They were too boring. I didn't really care for them. But, the more and more I thought about it, the more I felt like I have to give them a pass because this was the first suits of this new season. It wasn't like they were taking overseas suits for Super Sentai. Those suits were badass, but I can understand maybe with all the extra parts and pieces, bells and whistles, the Saban or whoever owns it, Hasbro, didn't want to spend the extra money, so they decided to just come up with their own design. So I'm gonna give it a pass. The other negative is I gotta talk about the henchman. I don't know what the daughter's name was in the show, but she was really annoying and really boring. She was basically like, I can understand, Hasbro wanting to fit the Power Rangers into the current, way of life, because it's not the 90s, it's not the early 2000s, it's 2020s, you know what I mean? So I could understand them wanting to fit the Power Rangers into the current time. But the daughter was walking around with like a cell phone and a selfie stick, and I thought that was just really whack. It was really corny. That's just my opinion on that. I think the show would have been better if she would have just not had that stuff and just would have been a kick-ass supervillain. The mom was kind of annoying. I don't know what the name is, but she was in charge of this big evil corporation called Squid Inc. I thought that was, it was whack, but it's a kid show, so I gotta take it easy. You know what I mean? My other negative about the show was it's only 10 episodes, and it's a shorter runtime because it's on Netflix and there's no commercials, so it's just a lot different compared to when I used to watch it when I was a kid, where you had longer run times because of the commercials, and of course you had 18 episodes or maybe 20, and this was only 10. So maybe that's just what it is. But some of the stuff was a little rushed, just a little bit, but it wasn't rushed that bad to where it bothered me to where I couldn't watch it. I still had a good time watching it, but I just felt like 10 episodes was just way too short. They could have made at least a 15 or 18 episode season just to, let fans really enjoy it. I just feel like they kind of just rushed this last season just to get it out the way. I'm trying to think if there's any other negatives I had about the show, but those are really my only negatives about it. For the most part, I enjoyed everything else. I mean, it's still the Power Rangers, it's still campy, it's still corny in a lot of areas, but it was really enjoyable. With Zeto, I really felt bad for the guy because after he got shot through the portal in the first episode, when he comes back, he's now the Zenith Ranger, and he has the Morphing Master's powers, or similar powers to them, and he is able to use magic using the staff. But the more magic that he uses, the more it drains his powers. And so, of course, by the time we get to the end of the season, he has to leave and go be a Morphing Master because his time as a human is officially over. And it just really sucks, man, because it's like, I skipped over watching the rest of Power Rangers I believe it's Dino Fury and the second season, so I'm about to go back and finish watching those. But to see, the outcome of what happened with Zato, it really sucks. But, the rest of the team, of course, had to live their lives and do their own thing, and the Earth was saved. And, of course, you had the inclusion of, not all the Power Rangers, just Billy, but they did have some of the other Zords from different seasons of Power Rangers. I believe they had one from Power Rangers in Space. They had the OG Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I can't tell what the third Megazord was, but I thought that was a really cool spot to have. I think the team did a really good job just, working together to, bring down the threat of Lorazed. When he eventually got the powers of the Morphing Masters and upgraded his power, it kind of took me back to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle moment where you almost had the regular Shredder, and then eventually he took some serum or something like that and became Super Shredder. That's what I got when Lorazed became more powerful. Now, I will not lie. The last episode was good all the way until the very end. I thought the ending was a letdown, the way that they defeated Lorazed. It just didn't do it for me. I would have felt a lot better if they would have just kicked his butt and completely just, defeated him, instead of having that soft ending that they had. Moving on from that, I did like how the Power Rangers were able to kind of press a button on their watches, or whatever you want to call them, morphers, and were able to kind of come and go as they please. It's crazy upgrade compared to what we used to have back in the 90s, where I think that Alpha had to kind of do it for them, and now you look at them and they're able to come and go. But like I said, it's just an update with the times. But overall, I think the show was really good. I'm going to definitely give it a 9.5 out of 10. I just think the shorter runtime and it being a shorter 10-episode season definitely, made me feel some kind of way about it. But overall, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could possibly be missing to talk about here. Oh, yeah. You also had a Dark Ranger. I'm going to have to go back and watch this one from, I believe it was Dino. It was another Dino season that came out recently. But his suit was badass, and the way that he morphed, where he held up the boomerang, was really cool. I forgot because I saw a picture maybe 3 to 4 days ago of him, where him and Billy were getting ready to morph. Excuse me. And I thought the way that he morphed was really cool. It was really different than the usual, wrist watches or wrist, whatever you want to call them, that the Power Rangers use. So to see him use a boomerang and to see his suit was really cool. But really watching this season, it really reignited my fandom and love for the Power Rangers, and it really made me see why I really got into watching this in the first place. So I'm definitely going to go back, and watch some of the older seasons that came out before this Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury season, because I really want to see how the other seasons were, no matter how campy or corny they are. And I know, of course, moving forward, Hasbro has ownership of the Power Rangers, so it's going to be interesting to see how Hasbro, does things going into the future, what new stories they're going to create, because it is going to be a completely new rebooted Power Ranger thing going on. And I do got to talk about some of the locations about the Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, and just some of the New Zealand areas that they were shot in. Beautiful areas, especially the beaches. It looked really good. I don't know exactly where they're shooting in America when they shoot the new show in America, but I don't know if it's going to compare to the New Zealand areas that the TV show took place in for over 20 years. But that is the end of my review. Y'all let me know if I missed anything about the show. Y'all let me know what your expectations are of Power Rangers going into the future. And which Power Ranger season was your favorite? Post everything about Cosmic Fury in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next review. Peace, I'm out. I keep forgetting every single time. There's always one more thing. If I'm Saban, I gotta find a shorter way. Not Saban, I'm sorry. From Hasbro, I have to come up with a shorter way for the Power Rangers to morph. That was one of my biggest negatives, was it took so long for them to morph. And I know it's been like that for years now, but it's like they got to find a shorter way for these teams to morph. I just feel like this one took way too long. If I was the bad guys, I would have been blasted them in the smithereens. That's just my opinion on that. That was my last negative. So post y'all comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Again, peace out.